Hello watch lovers! Now, if you think you have the resolve, the pure strength of will, and the bravery to live with only one watch, then any of these watches will serve you well. Because in this video, I'll be showing you 10 watches that I think could serve as your only watch. Here's 10 sporty and sophisticated watches that can do it all, from boardroom to bowling alley. Starting with this, the Breitling Navitimer, or to use its full name, the Breitling Navigation Timer McWatchface. And this model is the latest iteration of the iconic pilot's watch. Here in a 43mm diameter, it has a bold presence on the wrist, as most Breitlings do, but with the subtle, sophisticated copper-coloured dial, it's universally wearable with a warm vintage elegance to it. It's contrasted by the black subdials and the signature slide rule around the outside, which in this modern version has been flattened slightly for a sleeker profile. And in a nod to its 1952 heritage, this model features the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association Wings logo at the 12 o'clock position, which celebrates the Navitimer as the official watch of the largest pilots club in the world. Elsewhere, you'll find quality finishing throughout, with polished hands and indices, and alternating polished and brushed metal elements across the case and lugs. This one is powered by the COSC certified Calibre 01 movement, and this watch is a true legend and the only watch you'll ever need. Ever. Probably. This one costs around £6,000 pre-owned. This is the Grand Seiko Evolution 9 SLGH017, aka Night Birch. And it's another regular old masterclass in Japanese craftsmanship and engineering while depicting the serene beauty of the Japanese countryside in a high-performance timepiece in 40mm diameter with twin barrels. So the standout feature, as with almost all Grand Seikos, is the textured dial, here in a deep black to represent white birch tree forests at night. It's rather beautiful and reminiscent of a charcoal tree bark rubbing. The dial is adorned with broad, multifaceted hands and grooved markers, as is the style of the Evolution 9 collection, and the 40mm case comes in high-intensity titanium with a mix of brushed surfaces and a mirror finish, thanks to Grand Seiko's signature Zaratsu polishing. And that makes for a more cultivated and modern-looking sports watch that looks great on the wrist. Inside is the high-beat Calibre 9S-A5, which beats at 36,000 vibrations per hour and features Grand Seiko's dual impulse escapement alongside an impressive 80-hour power reserve, thanks to twin barrels. You can pick this one up for around £7,000 pre-owned. This is the Tag Heuer Carrera Calibre 18 Telemeter. This Heuer heritage model draws upon the vintage 60s Carrera chronograph models, but with some modern tag touches. First introduced in 2015, it's one of the first to feature the domed glass box sapphire crystal design that we all love so dear. It comes in a 39mm stainless steel case with a crisp and clean silver sunburst dial with two black subdials for a monochromatic metallic panda look. And also on the dial, you'll notice the words Calibre 18 and Telemeter. But what does that mean? Well, telemeter refers to the scale around the dial, which is used to estimate the distance to an occurrence that generates both light and sound simultaneously, like a firework or a Hadouken. So you start the chronograph when you see the light and then stop it when you hear the sound. And the number displayed on the scale in kilometers is the approximate distance between your location and whatever loud flash just happened somewhere. It's an older function, but it checks out. And then Calibre 18 is in reference to I don't know what, unfortunately. Anyway, on the reverse side we can see the Calibre 18 movement powering this watch, including the chronograph functionality and about 40 hours of power reserve. This is a sweet watch with balanced proportions, retro good looks, and a real true-to-form reinterpretation of the brand's most classicist chronograph. This one is about £4,000 pre-owned. Here we have the Tudor Black Bay 54, and so the 54 series bears most resemblance of all the Black Bays to that original Tudor dive watch, the Oyster Prince Submariner reference 7922, which released in 1954, hence the name. And here you have a 37mm steel case, and with this specific model, the summery Lagoon blue sand textured dial. and that sand texture is very grainy. It's a coarse sand texture, but it offers great depth to the dial, catching the light and striking a contrast with the smooth mirror polished bezel, which in turn accentuates that vivid tropical blue watercolour for a triple whammy of very nice visuals. Also, that mirror polished stainless steel bezel is a more refined alternative to the usual utilitarian aluminium insert bezel found on most other Black Bays, which makes this watch a cleaner, more formal choice. Inside is a COSC certified manufacture caliber, the MT5400, which has a robust 70-hour power reserve. This is the perfect pick if you want the rugged ability of a diver, but with fresh, sophisticated vibes. You can find this model for just under £4,000 pre-owned. This is the Omega Speedmaster 57, so named for its close resemblance to the original 1957 Speedmaster, featuring the same broad arrow handset and brushed steel bezel. But here we have the simplified Go Faster dual subdial registers for the chronograph instead of the usual 3. So you get a clean and functional layout of a dual 12-hour and 60-minute chronograph subdial at 3, a small second subdial at 9, and there's a date window at 6 too. It comes with a 40.5mm stainless steel case and a striking blue dial, which is accentuated by rhodium-plated hour markers and the aforementioned broad arrow hands for a classical yet sharp and refined look. With this watch, you're getting modern precision and vintage design. It's a clean and balanced everyday watch, but with classical finesse. Perfect for both a business suit or even a vintage racing suit or something. This one costs around £6,000 pre-owned. Here we have a Cartier Santos de Cartier, and a flipping good one at that. This is the large model in stainless steel with a diameter of 39.8mm, but it wears ever so slightly larger on the wrist, feeling more like a 40mm watch or thereabouts. It's the perfect choice if you're looking for both a luxury sports watch that's also distinctively elegant at the same time, and with all of your favourite Cartier features like exposed screws on the bezel and bracelet, Roman numerals, and a blue stone on the crown. And with this particular model, you get a striking graduated green dial that shifts its tone in the light. Such beauty is combined with practical features such as a date window, 100 meters of water resistance, and a 40-hour power reserve from Cartier's in-house 1847MC automatic movement. The watch has a robust chunkiness too, but it's seriously curvational with a bowed crystal for maximum huggage to your wrist. With this watch, you're getting the elegance of a Cartier, but with the sportiness of a Cartier. This one costs around £7,000 pre-owned. This is the IWC Ingenieur Automatic 42 in full black ceramic. And IWC may well change their name to International Watch Ceramicists at this point, because they're getting pretty deft at making amazing watches in ceramic. The Ingenieur model, inspired by the Gerald Genta Ingenieur SL design, features the signature integrated bracelet and bold case, but here executed entirely in lightweight, scratch-resistant zirconium oxide. It's 42mm with a black case and bracelet and a black grid dial for the full stealth look. And the black ceramic and the soft edges of the Ingenieur design is a really nice combo. You get the rounded top and bottom of the case and the smooth curve of the bracelet, and all in a mix of satin, sandblasted and polished finishes. It just feels really tactile and lovely. And it sounds like it should be at odds with that 70s industrial design, but it elevates it instead. And it works. It just works. Inside is IWC's in-house Calibre 82110, an automatic movement with a 60-hour power reserve and 100-meter water resistance. Here, the high-tech construction and sleek design make this a universally wearable watch, and this one is around £13,000 pre-owned. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is one of the most recognisable luxury sports watches ever made. Its signature design elements are still as farm fresh as when the watch was first released back in the 70s, with the octagonal bezel, hexagonal screws, the angular case with integrated bracelet, and the grand patisserie waffle texture on the dial. It's timeless. The dial is cleanly laid out, and it feels surprisingly sparse actually, and I think that's owed to the confidence of the execution and the design. The hands and markers are crisp and bright, and there's a tiny date window, and that's about it. While the case is sleek and stylish as all heck in 41mm, here in stainless steel, and it's slim with double good finishing of brushed and polished surfaces that catch the light from every angle. Inside is the AP in-house 4302 calibre, an automatic movement with a 70-hour power reserve. The Royal Oak is bold, yet refined. Having originally bridged the gap between sporty and luxurious, it remains a design icon. And yes, it is a status piece, but it's justified because it's just such a damn freaking cool watch. You can pick this one up for around £40,000 pre-owned. This is the Zenith Defy Skyline Skeleton Night Surfer, a limited edition luxury sports watch released in 2023, and it's a blend of bold, skeletonized design with high performance watchmaking. It comes in a microblasted titanium case for a matte grey look that's punctuated by streaks of vivid blue from the skeletonized dial in a 4-pointed star motif. So the dial allows views of the goings-on inside Zenith's high-frequency El Primero 3620 automatic movement with its purple silicon escape wheel and balance wheel whizzing around inside. So this watch doesn't feature a chronograph function, but there is a 1/10 of a second indicator on the dial which showcases the movement's high precision and performance, and it's fun to watch that whiz around too. And in addition to its high concept design and performance, you also get a sporty 100 meters of water resistance. If you like avant-garde skeletons and top-tier technical watchmaking in a sports stealthy style, then accept no substitutes. This one is around £10,000 pre-owned. If you're looking for a watch that's sporty, versatile, and with timeless flair, then how about this? Everybody needs to experience the iconic Pepsi GMT from Rolex. This is a one-and-done watch, if ever there was one. Slight wrinkle in the flight ointment though, even more so now since their recent discontinuation. But even before that though, your only hope of getting one was on the pre-owned market anyway, unless maybe you're Roger Federer or his wife. In any case, the Rolex GMT Master 2 BLRO is an icon. A high-end travel watch with the famous red and blue Pepsi style bezel, here in its modern ceramic form. The case here is also of the solid 18-karat white gold variety, which was actually discontinued a little while ago, back in 2018. So it's weightier than steel and feels quite hefty on the wrist, but in a luxurious way. It's 40mm in size and with the 24-hour bezel and GMT hand, and it runs on the Calibre 3186 automatic movement. This is a luxury reinterpretation of a classic tool watch that's now reaching grail levels of desirability. You can live the Rolex dream with this white gold version for around £25,000 pre-owned. Well, there you go, that wraps up our roundup of 10 sports watches that can do it all. And if you want to check out more amazing watches, then why not head over to watchfinder.com and find your next pre-owned luxury watch. Check it out, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.